It is started to record now.
Okay. All right. So I think that's all I had to say. So next is our guest, Heather Woods. Do you have an introduction for her, Lori, or are we good?
Well, Heather's introduction was on the agenda. I put her bio on there, and I also put a link to the introductory video that you had for us. So I think, Heather, just turning it over to you, because I thought Heather and I have met before, and I think just talking with Heather was the best way of her hearing about the Starfish platform. So Christy, would you mind stop sharing so Heather can share?
Sure.
Thank you.
All right, and then is share. All right, I'm less familiar with.
It's on the very bottom. You know where the hang up button is? To the left of that is present now.
Oh, very good. Okay, it's all the lingo, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Very good. Share your screen window.
And I'm going to mute because my Annie might bark, and I don't want to take away from your presentation.
Okay, I appreciate it. Okay, I'm trying to click share. Oh no, maybe do I click on, there we go, select. All right, I can function on technology until something makes that change. If there's a glitch, then I'm out of luck. So, okay, so thank you so much for inviting me. I feel so privileged to be able to present our platform. I'm super excited about what we have to offer. To be clear, I know you just muted yourself, but I have 10 minutes to present and then 5 more for questions. Is that still, do I still understand that correctly?
That's correct.
Okay, so I'm going to put my little stopwatch on so I can see when I'm running out of time. Okay, so starfish. Maybe you've heard the parable before that someone finds somebody out on a beach and they see like this whole pile of starfishes that got beached when the tide went back out. And a young fellow is taking a starfish and throwing it back in the water. And the person who found them said, you know, what are you doing? Well, these starfish are going to die if they sit out here. I'm going to, you know, and he's like, look at them all. You can't possibly save them all. They're all the way up and down the beach. And the young fellow picks one up and tosses it in the water and says, I just made a difference with that one. And I love that story. And if you know it, just based on what I know about World Community Exchange, and if you're a part of this in any way, you probably have a similar feeling of wanting to help a person, even if it's just one person at a time. And so there can be a lot of challenges, issues, and causes that can seem really insurmountable in a lot of ways. But there are often ways that we can make a difference for the one person right in front of us today, and maybe another person tomorrow. And over time, before we know it, we've started a movement. And I think that's what's going on here with World Community Exchange, creating a platform that people can share their handmade goods. The makers can have a platform where they're not having a large portion of their revenues taken by a large platform that might that's trying to profit from it on that end, that they're creating a movement right through this organization that I love so much. And so so maybe think for a moment, have you ever felt like the financial system might be working against you or working against us? You know, talk about insurmountable, the Federal Reserve, the IRS, taxes, inflation. Who can be the David that's going to confront Goliaths like those? Most of us don't have what it would require to just topple that whole system. You know, certainly not me. And yet I hate that injustice. I've been married to my high school sweetheart for 30 years. We work hard and still struggle to keep our head above water. And I don't think that we're alone in that. And we see friends and people around us who go to school, get good grades, get a safe, secure job, and work hard. They're not slacking off. They're still working hard and still struggling to keep a roof on their heads and feed their kids and provide the things that they would like to for their kids. And it's frustrating. And we go to the store and we see the price of eggs, the price of gas, the price of heating, the price of homes, and are helpless to do that except just keep paying what is asked for the things that you can't not buy. We see government waste and corruption, and we feel helpless to do anything about those things. And so, you know, whether, you know, maybe you agree with this, whether you like it or not, we need money to, you know, if you like luxuries like a roof on your head, or food in your refrigerator or clothes on your back. We kind of just need some money. And yet this whole system just seems to be siphoning it away from us in all these little ways. But rather than try and topple this whole system, we at through Starfish and the Life Organization have put together this platform, and I was not smart enough to create this myself. I'm just smart enough to see a good thing and get behind it. I've created this platform, which is an alternative to feeding this financial matrix, as the founder, Orrin Woodward, describes in his book. And so, I assume you've watched the video before, and if you haven't before, but can go back later, in one single sentence, what this platform, and it's a 3-minute video. So go there, they will explain it far better than I will, but it simply is a different way to pay at the register, whether it's online or in a brick and mortar store, for things you already buy. We just shop at the same places you did last week, only this week you're going to pay less because you're going to get it back in cashback perks, between 1 and 20%. And instead of swiping your debit or credit card. So it's just using a different way to pay, and there's no transaction fees. And there's more, it's more secure, it's touchless. Some people really care about that as well. And so it costs just $60 a year for this platform. And so it's half of what Amazon Prime is. It's, I don't know what a Costco or Sam's membership is, I forget, but people pay to earn the privilege to utilize a better deal and get a good price for things. And so if it's $60 a year, figure $5 a month. And so on this first image, if you can see the screen, it shows just a few of the more than 500 merchant partners currently, and more being added daily, of places that maybe you've shopped at in the last month or more. Maybe shopped at last week: Amazon, Target, Walmart, Chili's, Kroger, all of those. And so, and you get cash back if you use it about 15 times a month. And most of us have more than 15 errands to run, that you can get back in return $20 to $40 a month. So $5 in that month and 20 to 40 out. That's a 400 to 800% return on your investment. And so most people see, just to shop the same places, only now I'm going to get cash back for paying it a different way than supporting this financial system. And so did you know, though, with these transaction fees that the credit cards pay, whether it's debit or credit, doesn't make any difference. They get, the credit card companies, 2 to 3% or more in a transaction fee. So every time you pay for something, every time you pay your insurance, your bills, or at the store or wherever, that they get a cut of that. And while we were all stuck in with COVID and we had to pay through the credit card, through the computer, because it was the only place we were able to shop, every time we used that credit card, they were making bank. And that's another, slice. And that's only their side business. And so over here, this just kind of shows you that $75 billion in transaction fees. And so that's going to be eliminated by using the Starfish platform. But then even bigger, our friends and family, some people can't pay their credit cards off at the end of every month. Some people do, and it certainly is the better way to do it. But half of Americans can't. And when the price of everything's going up, where are they supposed to get their money from, except that they're increasing their debt, and they're paying $175 billion in latent fees and interest. And so combined, $250 billion that credit card companies are making, because they have cornered the market on every time we need to move our money. And so if out of that $250 billion, what if we could just take a slice out of that by diverting enough people, one Starfish at a time, one family and household at a time, to use this platform instead, our platform, that we could take a slice, that whole $75 billion, so the transaction fees would be a thing of the past. And then it would help people who even use credit cards and who are struggling to keep up with and dig themselves out of debt, help them to use less and less of their credit card and now use this instead. And now they're going to be paying less in interest. They're going to be paying down their debt until at some point they become debt free. And there are people through our organization who do that very thing. So the business end of it is to help eliminate those credit card fees. But the blessing end of it is helping people to wean themselves off of this whole system altogether of credit and things. And so, I don't know if you've ever felt like you wish you could multiply yourself. There was a movie back in the day called Multiplicity, and he, had made himself over and over again. And one of them went to work, and one of them stayed with his wife, and one of them worked on remodeling the house. And I don't even know all the things he had himself do. But if you or I are an employee or if we're self-employed, there's only one of us. And so we trade time for money to earn the things we want. If you're a maker, you only are making your things. And unless you've got your kids or people around you helping make it, it's just yourself. And so, if you trade time for money, you never can have both. You get lots of money, but it's because you're using all your time to do it. Or if you have a lot of free time, you're not going to be getting paid very much. That's kind of how that works. But what if you could multiply yourself? And through this Starfish platform, our organization wants to invite you to share this message, to look for other starfishes to throw out to the sea, to allow them to live, like this caption says, the life you've always wanted. And if you have a cause that is close to your heart and you feel the same way, and you yourself feel the pressure of like not having enough hands to spin all the plates that you're spinning, by just sharing a message, by using the platform yourself and then sharing it with a few people, it is an opportunity that we want to provide or offer, that you could create a 10x organization, a 100x organization, using a system that this organization has cultivated of sharing this message, that you can create a multiplying effect instead of it only being dependent on you and the number of hours you can put in, that we can share this with people. And it's called Team Approach. There's a whole system of audios and training, as well as just working with me and my husband and our organization, that would love to show you how you can be in business for yourself, but not by yourself. And that as an organization, we can create 10x and make hundreds of dollars a month, or 100x and make thousands of dollars per month, to help us to free our time back and be able to have money to utilize for the things that are important to us, our own priorities, and give us choices in life. And if all cars were $1, would you drive the same car you're driving today, or is there a different kind of car you would love to do? If you live where you live, do you like the place that you live, or would you live in a bigger place? Would it be in a different location? What are some of the things that you would like that the current trajectory of your life isn't offering? And so that's literally in a nutshell. I'm going to unshare if I can find the right tab. And am I out of sharing? Did I make it go away? All done. Okay. So, that's about the fastest version I've ever given, but I can definitely answer questions. I have a system that if anyone wants the platform, I can certainly give you the website, and then I can send you audios to listen to that will explain more to you. And just like everybody seems to enjoy podcasts, it's of that sort of thing. But I feel like that the value itself of just using the platform alone is a tremendous value to anybody who breathes, wears clothes, and eats food and things. And then if they're looking for a leverage opportunity, I'm happy to talk about that, but I don't want you to see that and be alarmed and miss out on the chance to at least be a user of the platform. I hope that makes sense. So I'll take any questions if someone has them.
Heather, can you the one thing I found really valuable when we met was to just kind of talk about how it works when you go to a merchant, how an app versus, that process that we talked about.
Okay. So like if I am online paying for something or at a store, what that looks like. Okay. Let me, let's go back to Starfish. Home. Okay. All right. And so now I got to come back up here and share so you can see what I see. Okay. Your screen, why not? Click. Share. Okay, so the platform, we used to be through the App Store, and we told them a pox on all you too. And so we're now just web-based. And so you can go to Starfish Perks, and you can, I can send you the link so that you can be linked to me, because we definitely want you to do that. But on here, you create, like some of you might be familiar with Dave Ramsey and other kinds of financial system programs. And we have a terrific one that's often included in this platform. But this is a digital envelope system. So you currently have this much available for shopping, and you link it to your bank account, where this is basically a secondary bank account, an alternative bank account. And so here's what I currently have. It's my digital envelope system. And then down here is like more than 500 stores. And again, I said more being added all the time. So there's charitable things like American Cancer Society and Amtrak and airlines and stores and streaming services and you name it. So all the sorts of things that you and more, like I said, being added. And then the percentage on there is how much cash back that you would get for purchase. And that is an agreement made independently with each merchant. So Buffalo Wild Wings says, we'll give you 6% for actually spending money with us instead of trying to advertise and hope we come in here. I'm going to give you 6% if you actually eat at Buffalo Wild Wings. So let's just pretend we're going to do that. And so at the register or sometimes just before I walk in the store, I'll click on the store just because sometimes their internet, if you're deep in their whatever, but this is it. You just put in the dollar amount. You make it for the exact amount most of the time. A couple merchants want to do a little slightly different, but really $15.98, I could make it. I can include the tip. So now I'm going to get cash back on my tip as well. And then, so whatever the dollar amount is, whether it's on the checkout cart in your website that you're on, if you're doing it through Amazon or doing it through Land's End online, and lots of people who like to shop there, you can pay at the register with this as well. And then you hit review and pay, but we're, like I said, we're not there today. So we're not gonna, let's see. Oh, clear. Very good. Okay. But then what I can show you is, okay, hide that, is that go into wallet down at the bottom. And here it says gift cards, manage your gift cards. And so if you hit okay, it would say, here's the amount and here's what you're going to get for cash back. And then click here to confirm. And then after you confirm, it will pop up a new window where it will generate. And you can see I've been to TJ Maxx recently, and I can show you what the card would look like. And this is what would pop up then, is it's generating an electronic gift card from TJ Maxx, Marshalls, that whole thing. And then here's the credit card number. So you would just simply copy and paste and enter that if you're doing it online, or you show it to the cashier. And most of these provide a barcode that they just scan and boom, it's done. And the cash back immediately goes right into that e-wallet. And here's a little PIN number. Sometimes they want them depending on the merchant, and some don't even ask for it. And so that literally is all there is to how you make the card. And then again, there's different kinds of platforms that are out there that want you to like take pictures of your receipts and send it in and do these different things. Stop presenting. I don't talk and do things multitasking very well, do I? So anyhow, and so there are some that were like, yeah, take a picture of your receipt and send it in. Or once you've reached a certain threshold, we'll send you your cash back. And it's none of those things. It's pay at the register. You create this gift card, you get cash back when you do. And as soon as the transaction is over, it's right into your e-wallet. And so it's super simple that even low tech or tech phobic people, and I know a few, it's not hard for them to use.
Is there an app for this, or is it just on a computer site?
Well, it's called a web-based app. And so we don't go through the app stores anymore because they were mucking up our systems and we had to keep repairing every time there was an update, and they want their cut too. And we're like, you know what? That's like, we're not about that. We want to share all the profits with the user and with anybody who wants to help spread the message. But it's, like I said, it's a subscription for $60 a year. So picture $5 at the beginning of the month to give to me, and then I will give you $20 to $40 a month. And the more you kind of find ways of like, okay, well, I tend to get my stuff at Walgreens, but CVS currently is what's on this platform. Well, then I'm going to get my prescription through CVS. Or, I like Menards, but Home Depot and Lowe's are on here. So, and so I just kind of prioritize my money through this platform as much as I'm able to.
So this is basically like how, with your bank, how you use your bank card, and they give you all those little small perks, but yours is like on steroids.
It is like that's on steroids. And those perks that those credit card companies like to give us, those teaser rates, it's like your dime bag. It's like, ooh,
Yeah.
And it's so convenient. It's so easy. And there hasn't been an alternative. And so it's super cool. This was launched in its beta test back in 2019. And then COVID hit. We were able to share this with people virtually, like we're talking to each other right this minute. So there was some growth, but now that the beta test has proven, the proof of concept has proven, and the world is kind of opening up, we can now just go out and be like, yeah, this is who we are, and this is a whole other system. And we've had COVID to show how much the credit card companies have made.
Right.
The top big companies, they increased their net worth during the year of COVID by $4 trillion. That's our money that they got, 4 trillion more added to their net worth. I'm not okay with that. I don't know about you. So
Thank you.
So do you want to give my phone number if people would like to reach me direct? And then I am happy to connect with you. I know all of you aren't in Wisconsin, and that's cool. This company is across the US and even in Canada and a few other countries. And so there may be a local open meeting where you could get more of the information on the 10X, 100X part of it. But if you simply are looking to be a customer, there's a 48-hour cooling off period anyway between getting started to use the platform and we're becoming a member and a Starfish to share this with people is even an option, because if it was a good, we want you to have time to use it and be like, oh yeah, I definitely see the value of this. But if not, if you just want to be a customer, I am personally your customer service. And so if you are about to go to the register and you're kind of like, I'm going to do this, I'm not sure how it works, can you be on hold or on, call in case I get a hiccup and stuff. But once you've tried it, you'll find that, oh, this actually was almost as easy as she said it was. So.
And Heather, if you send me like what you would want us to know for critical information, like the platform link, things like that in an email, then I will paste that in our Board of Advisors chat so that people can have access to it and it's available for them as well.
Okay, I can do that. So I will follow this up with an email to you with, okay, just let me restate that again. So the like an enrollment link.
Yep.
Okay. And I'll give you my phone number too.
Wonderful.
Okay. Anything else?
Nope. I think that's all, unless anybody else thinks that they would want any other information. Because I don't know about you, but I start writing things down and then it's like, I can't read that 7 versus a 1 later. So
Yes. Although writing it down is huge, because the biggest lie I ever tell myself is I don't need to write that down. I'll remember. I leave this room and my teenage boys come and approach me on one thing or another, and whatever that was gone. So, yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much. It's a pleasure to talk to you guys. I have a Zoom account as well, and so I'm happy to follow up with you via Zoom even later today if your time allows it and you want to talk further. I'd love to get to know you and your story and what part of this perhaps grabbed your attention as well. But Lori and Rosie, I hope to follow back up with you guys this week as well. So thanks again, Rosie. It was great to Alignable. It has been worth it just to meeting you too. So, all right.
Thank you.
So you want me to just X out altogether and you guys have more meeting to do?
Yeah, you're welcome to stay for the rest of the meeting.
I'm happy to overhear what you guys are about. I'll mute me, or unless you know how to mute me. Is that mute? Shut me up.
The microphone in the very bottom row.
Okay, there it is.
And you don't have to mute.
Yeah.
Nobody ever has to mute in here. All right. So agenda back, please. Can we put the agenda back up, please?
I think Christy's working on it, aren't you?
Okay. I'm sorry, I thought that was you.
Nope, I can see the concentration on her face, so I figured I knew what she was doing, but thanks, Christy.
Awesome sauce. Okay, so next we have to see if there's any discussion on any of the reports that were turned in. You do not have to click on the report, Christy. It's fine. Everybody should have read it long before today. So does anyone have any questions, concerns, or discussion on the Vanguard report?
Nope.
No, I think that was pretty straightforward. Thank you.
Okay,
Nope.
hearing none, we're good. Christy turned in a framework advisory report. Any questions, concerns, discussion?
Nope.
Again, hearing none. This is great. We're all doing our homework. It's done. I also, so as we all know, the one position on the Board of Advisors that has not yet been filled is our awareness advisor. So we are consistently looking to fill that position. Mostly so you don't have to hear me or read me twice every month. But for now, I also turned in the awareness advisor report. But everybody in the room, anybody listening to the recording, if there is someone with the skills and interests necessary to become our awareness advisor, please reach out to me or Christy. And you can do so by our first name at worldcommunityexchange.com. Okay, on the awareness advisor report, is there any questions or concerns? Oh, Lori, did you have a question on the awareness report?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Christy, would you mind clicking on that link and pulling that report up? Because there was 2 questions I had about it. You had in there a sent request to email, and I wasn't sure what you meant by that. I think it's on slide 3 or 4, one of those 2. Maybe it was even 2. No, I should have wrote the page down on that one.
It's okay, we'll find it.
Oh, right there, under it was like the 3rd from the bottom. It says sent a request to email. I wasn't sure what you meant by that.
That's all constant contact stuff.
Okay, so that was nothing like an
You have to
outsider.
request permission, basically.
Okay,
It's
And
what
then-
you just, this morning when you, or earlier this morning when you emailed me about, is this what we sent to the BNI group? That's a request to email,
perfect.
that
Thank you.
exact thing.
Okay,
Mhm.
and then on slide 4, can you go over the click open thing a little bit? Because I see some spikes in there, and I'm like, do you have any sense of like?
You do. All of us get our all the newsletters, all the products, all that stuff. So if you, how can I put this? If you got curious, I mean, this isn't required for any of the Board of Advisors, but if you got curious and you saw an email come through and you went, I wonder how this is doing, then the next month I can give you a report on that. And basically the difference is, if I get an email, did I open it? Okay, I'm going to pretend that I'm not WCE, but I signed up and I get a newsletter, or I get the product blitz, or I get whatever it is, because we do a lot of those. If I don't have time this month, I don't open it up, then it's a 0 on this report. If I open it and go, I don't have time for that, or I didn't think that was pretty, I don't want to go to the site, or whatever it is, then I have an open but not a click. If I go to the picture and I hit it and I go back to our site, I've got a click.
Thank you, because I wasn't sure what the difference are between the open rate versus the click rate on that. And does that matter? So let's say you're one of those people who all of a sudden one day you sit down and you open 4 emails at once. One was from January, one was from February. How does that appear on this kind of a thing? Does it matter, or is it just literally the number of clicks and opens?
It doesn't matter. It'll go to the right campaign regardless when you clicked it or opened it. Now, if I pull a report on a particular day and 2 days later you did that, it'll change these numbers.
Right.
So these are never like written in stone, but
Yep.
as long as it's on during the time I'm pulling the report, it'll line itself up to your campaign.
I just thought it was interesting to look at the 2 big peaks that happened and trying to figure out like what caught people's interests.
What we generally do is, I'm not so interested in the spikes.
Okay.
It could be anything. It could be a long weekend. It could be anything, I want to see that we have clicks to opens. And when we have opens, no clicks, we obviously did not get their attention or drive them to the site. So those 2 things I care about. And I'd like to see a regular, like the graph, if you drew your line across. What I don't want to see ever is a plummet and then nothing. Now, there are times of the year, Christmas Eve, nothing's being opened. And then there's long weekends, especially in cold weather. Then people click on stuff just because they're bored. Doesn't necessarily mean we're doing better or worse in those cases, but if we can have a consistent growth or a consistent open and click rate, And then you want to compare it to the total number too. So one of the things, like, I believe you're looking at a spike because those are especially the second one off the top of my head, the date. That's not a newsletter.
No.
That's a potential maker. So we have our press release that goes out. We have our maker maintenance for the ones that are on. We have our potential maker. We have our newsletter. We have our blasts of the monthly featured people in that newsletter. When we onboard a new group or individual, we blast just them. So yeah, what I want to see is that we're pretty consistent across the line.
And I think,
Up is good, but
right. Yep. And I
does
thought
that
it was,
answer it?
yep. But I also thought it was interesting. I know why you push so hard for the app, because when you look at where people are opening it, it's all desktop and not as much mobile.
No. It's a myth. Everyone thinks you have to cater to phones, and you do for certain things. But think about every time you take a break at work, every time you take a lunch, you know, you can't underestimate the impact of the computer. You just can't. But it's also that I can tell you that we have to be on time. Absolutely have to, no exceptions, always be, because the people that will click start to watch for it, just like you do for your favorite stores. I know a new product comes out from WCE every Wednesday.
Right.
I know that we get those 5 fun facts from the awareness folks. I like the newsletter. I may not look at every product, every week, but I go for the newsletter. Every time we miss a deadline, we have seriously impacted us. We are entirely online, and algorithms like consistency. People like consistency. So that's why I'm a righteous pain in the butt all over Asana going, get it done, get it done, get it done. But that's what you'll see. If there comes to be a favorite thing that we do every month, then you'll always see a spike. Now that matters to me. If I see that same spike at the same campaign 3 months in a row, that matters. But if I can't put it out, there's like Tuesday at 10 o'clock in the morning is a great time. Makes sense, people are always looking for that perfect time. And so once you find it, you have to hit it. If I don't have the content necessary, and then the next day, all of us have to like, follow, share, and we have an expert in the room at like, following, and sharing, especially on LinkedIn on our board. I won't call her out because it's like her first official meeting, but we have someone that is excelling at that. It's usually her and I. So everyone needs to get in the habit, choose your platform or 2 or 3 of choice. And you should know when our newsletters are coming out, our products, we're the board. So hit it. If you are not getting these, please reach out to Apple, because she and I have confirmed on repeat that you all should be getting them. I'm the only one at WCE that doesn't get them, because I choose to get them through my personal, so I can see exactly what it looks like in my box. How does it flow in? So it doesn't give it priority, because we're working on the subject lines. Anybody, anything else? No? Good. Okie dokie. That's cool. All right, Alice, we're going to ask you to miss your deadline for this report for today. I put a note in Asana. Let's make sure that we cover, because a lot's going on for makers.
Yeah,
We
but I
onboarded
really
a bunch.
don't really
So
have anything new, except that I'm making appointments to see him because
we have a ton
right.
new. Ton new.
No,
We've
no.
onboarded 6 new makers in the last 3 weeks.
I'm only talking
So-
about the ones I've talked to. Okay.
Yeah. No, your team has done a lot in the last 6 weeks.
Okay.
We've started 2 new apps. So point is, next month, let's do a little recap of this month and next month.
Okay.
Okie dokie. Let's see, what's next? My cornerstone. Book club and topics. I think we had the speaker today
Yep.
for that. Okay.
And we don't start our book until March. And the link to the author site is on there so that you can either download it, you can get it from the library, you can get it from their site. They have lots of different options for how to purchase a book. Sometimes you can get it through your local Goodwill. You just never know where you're going to find that book option. Or I downloaded mine on the Kindle because that was the quickest way for me to get hold of it. So I am doing that this month. Instead, I'm a hard book copy girl, so it's driving me crazy reading online.
All right. So I'm going to do a little, because we have the time, I want to open the floor. We have 2 new people here today, and I just want to make sure you have a chance to feel like you're heard and you have questions and anything like that. You don't have to turn your video on, but if you could just throw your mic on, let me know how you're doing, how you're onboarding. Is there anything you need?
I am doing good. My onboarding is good. I'm just trying to work my way through all of the bus files, which I still find named very funny. But other than that, no, I'm doing pretty good. And then I know that I talked to you about some people that I'm friends with who I want to kind of get onboarded. So I've been going through those files as well to get some information.
Awesome. I'm here to help too, you know.
Yep.
Yeah, until we get used to our language, it's tough. Somebody pointed out I should write a glossary. I've got that in Asana. I will get it done just as quickly as I can. How about you, Michelle?
I was the one that suggested the glossary for myself.
Right? See?
I'll put
I
it out
didn't say it. I just saying, how about you?
But
I
that would
try
help
not
me.
to call people out.
I'm not afraid of calling myself out. So,
Okay.
but yes, that would be helpful to me. And the biggest thing with me, and I think I may have even shared this with you, Rosie, it's tax time for
Yeah.
me. So it's a little busy, but I am working my way through it as much as I can, getting through the files as I can. And I don't have any real issues. It's just a matter of trying to get through everything in the time that I have allotted.
And the 2 of you, both of you, once you get through the 3 or 4 things that just get you onboarded, you're going to see the pace slow down because you 2 are working with me to flesh out 2 brand new teams. So there's no gotta have it done. There's no, necessary reporting. When you come to the board of advisors, most of it's going to be we invented this time, so it's more of a long haul. So during tax time, we'll do less. After tax time, we'll do more. All
Perfect.
right.
That's good.
Yeah. We try to be respectful. It's just the onboarding time that's a pain. Watch for your, if you guys do not watch anything else in the bus files, okay? You have to watch the one that says the monthly tasks. You have to, because you're assigned to that task, and I don't want you to freak out when you get to, your month and you don't know why we're doing this or how we're doing this or all of that stuff. Everyone, remember, do not watch all of the bus files. That's not required. Look for your team name. Just look for your team name. Watch those. And then the all ones are great. They're overviews, but the awareness monthly impacts us all. So if you're spending more than 35, 40 minutes to get through that entire task, you're taking it more seriously than I intended. It's seriously like a half an hour of your life. Look for ones that have your team name on it. If it has other teams, you feel like watching them, go for it, but you don't have to. And then the one that's awareness every month, and just so you understand how all the teams work together on their monthly tasks. And you've had your one-on-ones, so you're ahead there too. All right, so Alice, I think later this week we're going to make sure we do our one-on-ones, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, then I think we're all good, honestly. Everybody in this room is excelling, which I hate to be like this, but I expected. It's a brilliant group of people. If there's anything that anyone sees that they would like to have changed, and that includes the agenda, we are literally in the year where we're making our templates and making our systems. And so if you see something, awareness, you're like, I really think we ought to post this more often, whatever, please holler. You know, more voices, more ears. All right. Does anyone have anything else?
Just a reminder that our next meeting is February 27th. And that will be our so just our next meeting will be February 27th.
Yep. Everybody get your reports in, please.
Yes,
Everybody
please.
follow the, Lori tends to be a bit generous. Don't pay attention to her dates in Slack. Asana is your firm due date.
I have updated my thing that just said, don't forget your reports are due soon. See you,
Yeah,
Asana.
there you go. See Asana.
See you, Asana.
And part of the reason we do that is so that I have a chance to look at them, because if somebody's struggling, I don't want that. That gives me an opportunity to help, is why we do it at that time.
And the dates on the BOA calendar are, I'm starting the agenda on this day. And if I don't have your report, that's just another quick reminder.
Okay. Well, I love it. This is amazing. 45 minutes in out. This is what we were hoping for with the new lunch meetings. I think this was a fantastic idea, and I appreciate, again, everybody's suggestions. So unless I hear something else, okay, we're going to adjourn this meeting of the WCE Board of Advisors on 2/13/2023 at 12:47 p.m. Central Time. Just want to say thank you, Heather. I know this is the third time you're talking to someone on this board, and I appreciate you.
Yeah, no, my pleasure. It's really great to know about organizations such as this that are making a difference in yet another area. So I love that.
Very cool.
All right. Terrific
All
to meet
right.
all of you.
We'll see y'all later.